Hello and welcome once again to Region Weather Live, your YouTube online streaming source for weather across the Dakotas and Minnesota. I'm meteorologist Brad Warner. And boy, let's go take a look right away at this system we've been talking about for days. It's finally here. It's finally on shore, folks. There it is, swirling around up in the upper northwestern parts of the United States. And that's the system. That's the one that's going to be affecting our region over the next couple of days. There's all our advisories and warnings that are currently in effect because of the system. The red is a blizzard warning, and that is in effect from early Tuesday morning until later in the day Thursday evening. The blue is a winter weather advisory. That is in effect until a little bit later in the morning, Tuesday morning, and that goes until Friday morning. And the difference why they're kind of separating them right now is just because of the amount of snowfall potential along with the wind. And let's get right into the forecast. Here is the latest model run. This is as of 4 a.m. Tuesday morning. We already have some snow and some rain across the southern portions of North Dakota, northwestern portions of South Dakota. Once we get to 7 a.m., plenty of snow out there already across the same areas, across the southwest, south central. Now, no, once this starts, it could be heavy right away. So you might start out that it's not snowing, and all of a sudden, bam, it's snowing, and it's all of a sudden the visibilities are going to be reduced, the winds are going to be there, and you're going to be in some heavy snow. This is going to pick up quickly through the day on Tuesday. So once it starts snowing, expect accumulations to pile up fairly quickly. So just note that, it might not be snowing, and then all of a sudden those conditions will change rapidly throughout the day. Here is Tuesday at noon. You can see snow has now moved into the northern parts of the state and is still across now much of North Dakota, northwestern South Dakota, and then you've got the rain further east, down the southeastern parts of North Dakota, out through western and northwestern parts of Minnesota as well. Once you get into the evening hours of Tuesday, this is 7 p.m. now Tuesday, plenty of snow still out there. It looks like the heavier stuff now is across northern parts of North Dakota, maybe a little bit down into the central as well, but still plenty of winds, northeasterly winds. Some rain mixed in there across northern Minnesota. So it's going to be a bit of a mix just to go into the evening hours on Tuesday. But then as we get into the overnight hours, that definitely will turn more into snow. So additional accumulating snow across all of northern North Dakota, Minnesota, and then kind of back into western North Dakota as well. It looks like we get some drier air that starts to work its way into this system. So as we go into the overnight hours, once we get into 3 a.m. and 7 a.m. on Wednesday, we still got plenty of snow across the north, but some of these areas down in the south kind of shut down for a little bit. By noontime, that drier air then that has kind of in the south has now worked its way once again a little bit further north. That drier air pushes in by noon on Wednesday. So we might get a little bit of a reprieve for some areas in eastern parts of North Dakota, northwestern Minnesota. At the meantime, those of you still in the west are still going to be dealing with the wind and the snow. This is going to be going on all day Tuesday night. Now we're into Wednesday already, and we're still seeing snow out there in the western parts of the state as this continues to develop. And boy, look at this thing really wrap up by Wednesday evening and how just potent this is. And it just doesn't want to go away, folks. We are late into the night, Wednesday night, early Thursday morning around 3 a.m., some snow still out there for western and central parts of the state. Still a little bit drier in the east. And also note, boy, those isobars are still closer together in the central and west, but not so much in the east. So it looks like the winds are going to be a little bit lighter into the later parts of the day of Wednesday in through Wednesday night. Now, finally, once we get into Thursday more so, the wind and snow starts to push back into eastern North Dakota, portions of northwestern Minnesota, And it looks like it kind of starts to shut down a little bit more in the western parts of the state as we go through the day on Thursday. Some of it kind of picks back up again in the north on Thursday afternoon, but then really most of it by Thursday night is relegated to the eastern parts of the state, and the winds begin to lighten up, and really by Friday, most of this is finally out of here. Wind-wise, we're just going to take a quick look at that. Here you notice that how the winds kind of match where the snow is. This is 7 a.m. Tuesday morning. And look at that kind of move to the north and east, along with some of the heavier portions where we're really expecting some of that heavier snow to be at. This is noon on Tuesday. And once we get to 4 p.m. on Tuesday, notice it moves into that Devil's Lake region. And, we're talking 35, 45 mile per hour wind gusts, maybe some occasional gusts of 50 out there as well. And then once we get into Tuesday night, some of those winds decrease a little bit, maybe still some strong stuff just in the Devil's Lake region and northward. But then that continues to move north through the overnight hours. And then here's our center of the low, and it kind of keeps these areas in the eastern parts of the state with lighter winds, while the winds out in the western parts of the state start to increase through the day on Wednesday. And again, Wednesday, east stays fairly light, while the west deals with gusts of 35 to 40 miles per hour still. So still we're going to be dealing with some blowing and drifting. And then finally, once we get into early Thursday morning, those winds start to move a little bit further east and begin to decrease very slowly throughout the day on Thursday, but more so Thursday night into Friday is when most of those winds start to move on out. The other thing to note is the possibility of some severe weather. Here you can see some enhanced probability. It's a 3 out of 5 possibility of seeing some severe weather, and that just touches Minnesota, slight risk into southern parts of Minnesota. There is a slight tornado risk on the far southern portions of the state. The wind, maybe a little more wind, and definitely some hail is probably going to be the biggest threat as we take a look at the convective model and what we're expecting with that for Tuesday. You can see these storms start to develop right around the 4 or 5 o'clock time frame, right around Sioux Falls. That might be the beginning of it. So for those of you down in that Sioux Falls region, just be aware that that's where the storms might fire up. And then it kind of moves into the Mankato area and just sort of follows that Highway 14, Interstate 90 corridor as it pushes east-northeast. Starts to move into portions of Minneapolis once we get into the 7 and 8 o'clock p.m. timeframe Tuesday evening. So those of you down in the Minneapolis, especially in the southern suburbs, you might have the possibility of some stronger winds and some hail as well. I think the tornado threat will remain south of you, however. So, but there is the potential of severe weather for you in the far southern portions of the state. Tuesday, late in the day, Tuesday into Tuesday evening. Here we are at about 9 p.m. And we're still dealing with some severe storms, mainly in the Rochester area. And once we get into 10 and beyond, 10, 11 o'clock, it looks like most of that stronger weather works its way out of there. So for those of you in the far southern portions of Minnesota, do be aware you have the potential of seeing some severe weather tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. And here's essentially what I'm thinking, or here's where I'm thinking is the best chance for 15 to 25 inches, maybe as much as 30 inches in some spots in portions of North Dakota. The blue is where we're looking at 10 to 15 inches of snow. The green, I'm kind of thinking that's the corridor for that 6 to 10. And that yellow spot in through here, that's where I'm thinking is the biggest uncertainty. That's where I don't know for sure where that rain snow line is going to move. Is it going to move to the northwest or southeast? Right now, we're going to say these areas in the yellow are going to be sitting right around the 3 to 6 inch mark. But boy, a shift either way could mean maybe an inch or maybe 10 inches. It's going to be that type of a scenario for those of you in the yellow. And then everybody south of this yellow area where I don't have anything shaded, I think everything's going to be rain for the most part. Now, mind you, this is through Wednesday. There will be additional accumulations once we get into Thursday, once that colder air wraps back around the backside of that system. So areas in through southeastern parts of North Dakota could pick up a little bit of light accumulation on Thursday. But really, with the main part of the system being Tuesday through Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, here's where I think most of that snowfall is going to occur. All right, there you go. That's the latest forecast that I have for you. I hope you've gone out there and you've already bought your food for the days, especially for those of you in western parts of North Dakota, because you're going to need it over the next few days. I hope you got your food. Hope you got your liquor. You're definitely going to need some of that. Hopefully you sent your mother-in-laws home already if you don't care for your mother-in-laws. But it's, you know, this is a big, big storm, and we've been watching it for days, and it's here. Here it comes. This is the day. Tuesday's the day it's coming through for those of you in the western and central parts of North Dakota. I do plan on being live early in the morning Tuesday just to see how things are developing, taking a look at some cameras. So if you want to follow me, go ahead and subscribe down below, because that way you know for sure when I'm on live. I'm going to be checking out some road conditions, some road reports. We're going to see how things are progressing. So please, please, please subscribe. Check me out in the morning. And everybody stay safe, drive safe, plan have your plans accordingly so that you're not out there in this if it really hits hard, especially those in the western central parts of the state. Have a plan ready because it's here. Here we go. Good luck, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow.